sa patalim. Kailan ba matatapos ang dilim?
Cleanliness is next to godliness.
Pagod na hanggang kailan ko
There must be something more. In all this, cleanliness is next to godliness.
Itong aking pasaning, mayroon bang nakikinig sa aking panalangin? Mayroon ba sa
The concern of Jesus was not the external dirt that wraps the body of a person, which renders him unclean.
puso ko? Pag-ibig ang aking
What concerns Jesus is the heart of the person. When we were young, each of us siblings was given an assigned household chore: wash dishes, fetch water from the manual water pump, cook rice, water plants in the front yard, clean the pig pen and feed the pigs, feed ducks, clean upstairs and downstairs of the house, clean the surroundings, etc., etc. Sometimes we miss the domestic chore. Sometimes we just simply chose to forget, and we had 100 reasons why we didn't do it. Actually, it was not only things that needed to be cleaned and tidied. We were included in the cleanup and tidy list. Mother would wake us up early in the morning for a shower before we had breakfast and walk to school clean and neat in our school uniform. It was Mother who was so particular with cleanliness and tidiness. She would be happy to see us and things that way. In the school, I could see my mother in the adage posted on the wall of the classroom: cleanliness is next to godliness. There must be something more. In all this, cleanliness is next to godliness of my mother. Today, the necessity of being consciously clean is a new normal, must thing to do if we wish to ward off COVID-19 and its variants. As if we don't know and have not learned from our childhood and school, cleanliness is next to godliness thing that we are often reminded in the social media, whether in print, in broadcast, or in podcast. Now, COVID is really a must. Apart from the cleanliness is next to godliness thing. Do you know that this cleanliness is next to godliness thing is not really a new attitude and practice? In the old times, cleanliness had been part of the faith life of the people. We have one example in two of our readings this Sunday. People who were unclean, like the lepers, had to distance themselves from the clean ones. It was not simply a 1 to 2 meter social distancing practice we have today. It was not simply to comply the 14-day quarantine period before you can go back to new normal community life. Unclean people were really forced to live outside the community premises away from their loved ones. If we wear face mask and face shield these new normal days in the Philippines, they had to wear torn clothes, cover their upper lip, and leave hair dirty and uncombed. As if to add more drama, they had to cry out, "Unclean, unclean." This would warn clean people that unclean people are coming to their direction. Once infected, they had to go to the temple priest to undergo the ritual of cleansing. Deprived of love and care and support, they were forbidden to enter the place of worship, for they shall make the place unclean too. Things changed when Jesus came into the lives of the people, especially those who are unclean and those who were deprived of social care. In the gospel reading, which is taken from Mark, a leper came to Jesus, knelt down and begged to make him clean. Jesus, as the Son of God, gifted to cure and to heal, made the leper clean. The behavior of Jesus and his way of dealing with the leper is a thing to be pondered upon. Jesus was not scared of how unclean the leper was. He was not even scared of becoming unclean himself. The uncleanness of the leper did not overpower Jesus to move away from him. Instead, the uncleanness of the leper and his miserable condition moved Jesus' compassionate heart. Moved with pity, he stretched out his hand, touched him. The concern of Jesus was not the external dirt that wraps the body of a person, which renders him unclean. What concerns Jesus is the heart of the person. For inside the heart comes evil thoughts, murder, adultery, sexual immorality, theft, false testimony, and slander. For Jesus, these things really make the person unclean. There is one word to describe this: sin. Sin doesn't only damage the normal and psychological condition of the body of the person, but also it damages the soul. It damages the relationship with self, with fellow human beings, and with God. Paul suggests a Christian attitude for life's daily call. Whether you eat or drink, or whatever you do, do everything for the glory of God. Avoid giving offense. Be imitators of Christ, Paul said. When we become like Christ, embrace his attitude of loving and being compassionate in dealing with the unclean, we become instruments of cleaning up and becoming what renders the person unclean. We engage in an attitude of care important in the life and faith of the struggling individuals. The Mass is a sacrament that cleanses us from what makes us unclean. It repairs our broken relationship with self, with others, and with God. Thank you so much. God bless you more and always. I'll catch you up next weekend. Happy Hearts Day.